Hello everybody, welcome to a World of Warships Blitz video, and today's video is the Tier 7 French cruiser, the Algérie. This may be the last Tier 7 French cruiser Algérie video I do for quite some time, because I now have the Tier 8 French cruiser, the Charles Martel, and I gotta say that the Tier 7 French cruiser Algérie was not significantly, well, wasn't a great deal of fun. So, yeah, it didn't really suit my style. 2 guns at the front, 2 turrets at the front, 2 turrets at the back. Had to show a little bit too much broadside to get the full power on, unlike La Glaçonnière at Tier 6, unlike the de Grasse. And nice to see that the Charles Martel goes back to the 2 turrets at the front, 1 turret at the rear arrangement, 9 guns. Yeah, so it's provided itself a little bit, doesn't quite have to expose itself as much. It's still the same heavy cruiser, but as the Algérie, slow on the turn. But the Algérie just seemed to just take a little bit more of a beating, and partly that's my style, right? So it's not the ideal ship for me. So yep, so here you go. This is one of the last games that I played before I managed to unlock the Charles Martel. And it's sort of a bit of a channel update for those, because there hasn't been a lot of games from me over the last couple of days. And that's basically, I think I've just needed a bit of a break. I have managed to grind out all the Tier 8s. So I have every Tier 8, Tier 8. Almost none of the Tier 9s, Tier 8s, you know, for those that have seen my video, is basically where I sort of hop off. That's the station I hop off on. So now I sort of was wondering, yes, I spent the last couple of days wondering what next. Last night managed to sort it all out. So the Charles Martel I have put all my blueprints into. I've got quite a blueprint deficit now, because I've got, well, Tier 8 ships take a lot of blueprints. So yeah, there's going to be a bit of waiting before I get my last 3 Tier 8s up to elite status. But the Hsien-Yang, which is the Tier 8 Pan-Asian destroyer, I have elited that, because basically that'll train the captain for the low Yang, which I much prefer, to be honest. And the Charles Martel has taken on the captain from La Glaçonnière. La Glaçonnière will take on the captain from the Algérie, which I don't really enjoy playing, and doesn't deserve a captain. But having that captain in the Charles Martel means that when I'm playing the Charles Martel, I'll be training up that captain, whose main job it is to get to level 10, I think, so that I get the extended period rapid reload for the Tier 8 French premium destroyer Le Terrible, which has a phenomenal rapid reload. So yes, as you can see, we're we're winning this game, but the Algérie is taking a bit of a beating. Part of my problem with these heavy cruisers, particularly heavy cruisers that have a lot of guns down the back, is I tend to run them a bit like my British light cruisers. So this is how a Fiji should be operating, probably not how a Charles Martel should be operating. We are winning, but it is probably in spite of my play style rather than because of it, and I'll be upfront with that. Anyway, so there we go. So we've taken down our first ship, or we had lost our first ship, 3 of the enemy down. This carrier is obviously causing me a great deal of grief, and we're heading in towards the torpedoes. We'll take one of those, which is a bit unfortunate, because I've got to wait for a while before the everything cools down. Basically all we're doing here is just trying to distract them so that the team can, well, what am I doing here? Probably one of the rules of the game is that unless the carrier is the last ship remaining, clear the caps. Really, chasing the carriers, they're big, they're fast moving, they take a lot of knocking down, they can't fight back, and I think that's what tempts people to take on carriers. But the number of times that at the end of the game I've taken on the carrier and, you know, basically just shortened the flight time between me and him has been fairly phenomenal, and that's what's happened in this case. Although, to be fair, we're well ahead. I've done my business, and yep, that's the inevitable result. Had I stayed in the cap around the other ships, not only would the planes have got shot down, that would have taken a lot longer, and I probably would have survived long enough for some of my repair kits to come back online. Anyway, as it is, he was busy focusing on me and not on the ship following me. Our ranger is doing a run for it. That's pretty much the right way to go. So if you're in a carrier and you think the enemy ships are coming through, you shouldn't be surprised, because if you're a carrier captain, you have to know how to count. If you don't know how to count, you get what you deserve. And if you're not counting, something doesn't add up. You got planes, find it, don't be surprised. So that's quite a distance. That ship's quite sick. That ranger's moving pretty quickly, so he should be able to deal with that lone, what looks like a destroyer. Yep, he's gone. Brooklyn took him down. So game's in the bag. As it turns out, also so was the Charles Martel, which made for a nice change. So anyway, there we go. Average game, but that's the Algérie in my hands is a pretty average ship, because I'm not really the right captain for it. Nice set of badges, some main battery hits, some torpedo hits, which has been unusual for me, because French cruisers, you have to get fairly close. Anyway, Algérie, last trip out. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.